Flooding has definitely been a problem in Upper Marlboro as well. That's where our Philip Stewart joins us now live with a look. Philip?
Hey there, Sinead. Hey there, Scott. Well, I want you to take a look at where I'm standing. If Dale pans down here, you'll see I'm standing on top of where this railing and this concrete wall would normally take you out into this park. We're right across from the county administration building. And you can see the railing doesn't just stop from where I'm standing. It actually continues out there and then goes down into the water. If you take a look back here behind me, you'll see here's one of the picnic tables. A little farther out, we've got a statue. Now, from what I'm told, where that statue of those birds is, normally this sort of park area would extend another 20 or 30 feet out beyond that. And then there's a drop-off that goes into this little, what is typically a small pond out here. You can see that's certainly not the case. If we continue to pan down over here to the right, you'll see even more of the picnic tables here. The water basically up to just the bottom of the table there. You also see some of the garbage cans down there, the bottom just lapping at the base of those. I also want to show you some video that we shot just a short time ago, just about 3 blocks away from here, over on, ironically enough, Water Street. It is certainly living up to that name here this morning. You'll see there's at least 4 feet of water covering the bridge over there, and the authorities here have that completely blocked off. We spoke with a gentleman who was rushing into the law office that sits right on the corner of where that bridge begins. He says this is the worst he has seen it in quite some time. Take a listen.
It's not uncommon. I'd say 3 or 4 times a year the bridge will close here. It'll be closed for a brief period of time, but to be up this high is very unusual. Very.
You know, and another one of the things we've been talking about, power issues here all morning. You know, perfect example of power coming on and going back off just on the drive over here right at Main Street and Water Street. On the way over here the first time, the lights were on. On the way back over to Water Street, the lights were back off. And, you know, we've been talking to you. There have been a lot of people coming out here taking pictures of the flooding, telling us what they went through last night and what they saw. And that's sort of been the case. A lot of people said the lights went off for a while, then they were back on. Some people slept through it, said the power must have gone out at some point because their clocks were all off this morning. But either way, you can see this is just one example of some of the flooding that they're dealing with here in Upper Marlboro. One other thing we should point out is over there on Water Street, one of the concerns they have is they were telling me typically they'll see some flooding over there the day after it rains, once everything runs off. So they are certainly concerned that given how high it is right now, that they may potentially see even more runoff over the, say, next 24 hours or so, and that water could rise even higher. Certainly we'll be keeping an eye on it for you here throughout the morning. We're live in Upper Marlboro. Back to you.
Yeah, tomorrow could be a tougher day for a lot of people. It's not always just that first day, and that's a great visual of that. Thank you very much, Philip.
Absolutely. Thanks, Philip. All right, we want to go out to Upper Marlboro now, where our Philip Stewart is reporting live for us. And Philip, so this is a park ground that's pretty much turned into a lake?
Yeah, that's right. We're right across from the county administration building, and to be fair, there is a pond that is usually here, but it has grown into a lake at this point. You can see this is normally a park right here where we're standing. You can see these out here. These are actually picnic tables, and you can see the water is up to, you know, basically right underneath the bottom of these picnic tables. You see down there a couple of trash cans as well, and then if we pan out here a little bit to the left, I want you to see where there are these statues of these birds out here. Some of the people who've been out here today explained to me that's sort of like a little decorative ornamental square in this park, and then probably another 20 or 30 feet beyond that is sort of a little boardwalk that walks around here, and it has pylons that stick up, you know, maybe 4 feet or so that have a little kind of like a chain link. All of that we can't see because it's underwater. And you'll see over here, if we pan over here a little bit, you can see where this railing would normally bring you up out of this park, but it's completely underwater at this point. One other bit of pictures we want to show you here from Upper Marlboro was over near Water and Main Street. If we take a look at that video, you can see the water over there over that bridge. Some of the authorities we were talking to, they're estimating it's anywhere between 4 and 5 feet deep there, and that is an area that is prone to flooding, but a couple of people we talked to over there said that's certainly much worse than they've seen in a couple of years, and a lot of the people that we've talked to over here at this location also telling us that this is a lot worse than they have seen in a couple of years. But you know what, a lot of people drawing parallels between this storm and Isabel from 7 years ago. I will tell you, a woman who lives right across this pond or lake, whatever you want to call it here today, she told me that she doesn't think this is nearly as bad. This water at one point was actually all the way up here and up into this sort of circle that pulls you around here in front of the county administration building. So, you know, in spite of what we're seeing here, it could have been much worse. Of course, people are still dealing with some power issues out here today. Off and on, we just talked to another couple who drove down from Hydesville. They say their power's been out since about dusk last night. And then you have other people here who say the power flickered a few times, but they're doing just fine. And, you know, I think that's what you're finding across the area today. Some people have been in the dark for, 12 hours or more. Other people have had some pretty good luck.
Yeah, I think people are going to have some flashbacks to snowstorms because it's going to be a few days for a lot of people. Yeah. We've talked about the potential for it being up to a week in some areas, so you just kind of have to cross your fingers at this point.
Definitely. All right, well, you mentioned the power outages there, Philip, and that's an issue as well in Beltsville.